And infertility, it's a factor for 1 out of every 8 American couples. We'll take a closer look at the options available to those couples with an expert from the National Infertility Association. We'll come right back. Right now, almost 7.5 million Americans are struggling with infertility. To cope, a recent study in the Journal of Reproductive Medicine found more of those couples are using what are called alternative family building treatments as solutions. Mindy Berkson is an infertility specialist. She also runs a consulting firm for infertile couples, and she's with us live this morning with an overview of the options available to those couples. Good to have you here, Mindy. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dave.
Infertility is such a pervasive problem, and I think that's the first thing that a lot of people have to understand. If you've been having trouble conceiving, you're not alone. They have a lot of company out there right now, don't they?
Yes, they do. And one of the leading factors of infertility is delayed childbearing. So women choosing to build their families later in life is what's really caused the infertility to grow by leaps and bounds.
But as infertility has become a bigger problem, so has the amount of research that's been put on it. And so now, do we have a lot more options available to infertile couples?
There are more options available, and one of the newest options available is egg banking. And this is available to women up to the age of 38 years old who can go through hormone therapy to increase the egg production, retrieve those eggs, and freeze them for use at a later time.
What's the availability of these really cutting-edge treatments right now? We hear a lot about them. I think a lot of people wonder, am I going to have to travel to get it done?
Oh, no. Availability is pretty widespread. There are 400 fertility centers all across the country. And so treatment is in most of the major cities.
And one of the things you just have to do is to find the center that's near you and ask them what they have that's available. And frankly, if it is as cutting-edge a treatment as is available. The other thing that comes up here frequently is affording it. These can be very expensive procedures, not always covered by insurance.
Yes, infertility is very expensive. If you do have infertility coverage through insurance, you're one of the lucky few. Other than that, there are borrowing options for infertility. And I do have on my website an e-book all about financing fertility treatment, and it's a free download available at www.lotusblossomconsulting.com.
And for more information, too, there's resolve.com. It's lotusblossom.com.
Lotusblossomconsulting.com.
Consulting, I beg your pardon. One word, .com. You talked earlier about one of the reasons for infertility, couples delaying having children. Are there some things those couples can be doing to prevent infertility problems later on?
Well, really, egg banking is the leading fertility preservation option at this point. But other than choosing to start their families earlier rather than later, there is really not any ways to prevent infertility. It just becomes a factor, and frankly, the rates rise along with age.
So that's another concern. When you get to the notion of, okay, we have to do something about this, should you also be looking at success rates for those fertility treatments?
Definitely. Excellent point. And success rates vary from clinic to clinic, so it's very important to know what questions to ask and to do your homework before you select a reproductive endocrinologist as well as a fertility center and laboratory that you're comfortable working with.
And you said a reproductive endocrinologist. That's this medical specialist, the MD,
Correct.
That you ought to be consulting in all of this.
Absolutely.
Right? All right. Again, lotusblossomconsulting.com is Mindy Berkson's website. Thank you so much for joining us. We
Thank you,
appreciate
Dave.
it. And if you can hear sort of in the background some of the successes that Mindy has had with some couples. Good to see you. Thank you so much for joining us. We're going to step away for just a bit.